The excursion inside, releasing the influence of direction in the consistently streaming waterway of life. Many float without a course, while some, stirred by a profound calling, decide to explore with reason. For the people who look for more than simple presence, there is a way, a less common direction, yet loaded up with importance, light, and unfathomable development in vision, briefly remaining at the edge of your true capacity, looking into the tremendous obscure. This skyline holds the chance of significance, yet it is stowed away from the individuals who give up to comfort, who look for comfort in the natural development, requests boldness and mental fortitude, requests a heart able to meander past the customary. Just the people who try to search inside and uncover the quintessence of what their identity is will open their actual influence. To walk this way requires flexibility and unflinching confidence. There will be minutes when your general surroundings questions your vision, times when the heaviness of uncertainty tries to break your determination. Yet recall, the owl lines up with the people who are resolute in their motivation. Each preliminary, each mishap is nevertheless a stone along the way, cleaning your soul and refining your solidarity. Embrace these minutes with appreciation, for they are the educators that cut insight into your spirit. Let each hindrance advise you that the excursion is essentially as gorgeous as the location. Life doesn't try to test your cutoff points yet, rather to uncover them to you, to reveal the unlimited potential lying lethargic inside. Ascent then every day with the enthusiasm to find more, to be more. Let your pulse with the fire of aspiration, yet tempered by the insight of lowliness. Don't look for significance for the world's commendation, yet for the inward harmony that comes from satisfying your motivation. In the end, when the ways of the world get away, it won't be the achievements or awards that characterize you, yet the fortitude with which you sought after your calling. Be persevering, be unfaltering, or more, all be consistent with the reason scratched within inside you. This is the substance of an everyday routine, all around experience, the day-to-day existence that in the reverberations of time, everlasting sparkles like a guide, rousing others to set out upon their own process inside. Embracing the influence of versatility, a way to rugged strength, life in the entirety of its excellence. And disorder tests us not to break us, but rather to divulge the strength that lies torpid inside. We as a whole face snapshots of despondency, times when the world seems faint and trust appears to be nevertheless a far-off murmur. Yet it is in these very minutes when shadows loom the biggest that the embodiment of versatility is fashioned in vision. Strength as the quiet, relentless power inside. It's not clearly, it doesn't flaunt, it murmurs to you in the calm of the late evening, encouraging you to rise when each fiber of your being feels exhausted. Flexibility is the heart's response to misfortune, a statement that regardless of how weighty the weight, the soul remains unyielded. Genuine versatility isn't the shortfall of battle, yet the elegance with which we explore it. Each challenge we face, every difficulty we get through refines us, etching away our feelings of trepidation and frailties until what remains is solid. We become champions not on the grounds that we don't feel torment, but since we convey it with respect and continue to push ahead. So stand tall, permit life to shape you, to shape your soul with each preliminary, and when embrace each stagger as a stage towards strength, every misfortune as an example carved in strength. Realize that the influence inside you is more prominent than any tempest you might face. And when the world appears to be too weighty, recollect that your soul, refined by versatility, can endure everything. In the end, strength is the heritage we leave, a story of endurance as well as of win, effortlessness. And an unstoppable soul spread the word that you stood unshaken, a demonstration of the steadfast strength inside, arousing the inward vision, the craft of residing with reason. Each spirit from the second it stirs to life conveys inside it a tranquil longing, a craving to look for significance, to walk away wealthy in reason. This inward vision isn't conceded to all, it anticipates those able to wander past the outer layer of day-to-day presence, those gallant enough to pay attention to the murmurs of their own heart. Residing with design is similar to a craftsman employing a brush with lucidity and aim. Every decision, each act is a stroke upon the material of life, adding profundity, tone, and magnificence. It's anything but a way of flurry or visually impaired desire, yet one of careful creation and excursion, where we look for not simply to accomplish, yet to develop something immortal and genuine. The world may some of the time cloud. This vision tempting us with temporary longings and shallow pursuits, yet reason requests more than simple congruity. It asks us to inquiry, to look for truth, and to adjust our lives to values that reverberation past ourselves. To reside with object is to stroll with honesty, to talk with conviction, and to act with empathy. It is a call to transcend the conventional, to reside for self, as well as for something more noteworthy, an ideal, an inheritance, and affection for all that is significant. Reason gives life its pith, changing each test into a venturing stone, each satisfaction into a sign of the magnificence intrinsic in this excursion. With reason, we don't just exist, we flourish, turning into a guide for others, a wellspring of light in a world that frequently meanders in shadows. So look for your motivation with all that you are, embrace it, sustain it, and let it guide you. And as you walk this way, may your daily routine become a magnum opus, an experiencing demonstration of the strength, magnificence, and limitless expected that exist in for a daily existence resided with design is a day-to-day existence that in the reverberations of time will sparkle with immovable splendor, moving all who follow the way of internal strength. Embracing the influence inside in the calm loads of our spirit lies a strength frequently concealed at this point, at any point present. It is the establishment whereupon we construct our lives, the center of our flexibility and the tranquil influence that permits us to transcend misfortune. This internal strength isn't found in physical may or outside achievements, yet in the profundity of our soul, the unfaltering purpose that helps us through even the haziest of times. To embrace internal strength is to confide in oneself in any event. When the way is hazy and the deterrents appear to be unfavorable, a power murmurs boldness and snapshots of uncertainty, asking us to push forward with effortlessness and assurance. This strength isn't clearly, it doesn't look for consideration, rather it appears in the quiet confirmation of one who has confronted life's tempests and arisen more grounded, savvier, and more empathetic. Genuine internal strength is developed through the preliminaries of life. Each challenge, every catastrophe, is entration cut into our being, showing us persistence, flexibility, and the magnificence of standing firm. It is through these encounters how to draw upon our most profound stores to discover a lasting sense of reconciliation in the midst of tumult, and to stay consistent when our general surroundings influences. Embracing internal strength is likewise a demonstration of self-esteem. It is the delicate affirmation that regardless of what we face, we hold inside us all that we require to persevere, to develop, and to flourish. It is an update that we are never really alone. Our solidarity is a dependable friend, a wellspring of influence ready to be called upon in snapshots of need. Let this strength be your aid. Stand firm despite life's preliminaries, realizing that you are able, strong, and deserving of each and every victory that lies ahead. And as you walk this excursion, recollect that your internal strength, supported by fortitude and confidence, won't just convey you, yet rouse others to find a similar influence inside themselves. In the end, this strength, calm, steadfast, and genuine, characterizes a daily routine all around experienced. Embrace it completely, for it is the pith of your soul, the heartbeat of your motivation, and the unyouthing establishment whereupon you fabricate a tradition of fortitude, beauty, and unfathomable chance. The ensemble of the spirit residing with effortlessness and profundity. Life in its passing excellence welcomes us to reside not simply on a superficial level, yet with profundity and elegance too. Encounter every second completely, to embrace bliss and distress the same is. To really respect the excursion of the spirit, it is in the calm snapshots of appearance, in the spaces among winds and difficulties, that we find the insight of residing with a heart completely open and a psyche prepared to pick up. Residing with beauty isn't just an approach to traveling through the world, it is a decision to move toward every day with modesty, appreciation, and sympathy. Elegance is the capacity to see magnificence in the conventional, to perceive the consecrated in the straightforward, and to comprehend that each experience, regardless of how little, is a valuable chance to elevate, to interface, and to develop. With beauty, we find strength in thoughtfulness and flexibility, in pardoning, deciding to transcend struggle with nobility and understanding, and to reside with profundity is to travel into the actual heart of presence, to look for importance in all that we do. It is to address, to reflect, and to connect with life, not as an observer, but rather as a member. completely submerged in its lavishness. Profundity permits us to track down miracle and secret, to treasure snapshots of isolation as ways to self-disclosure, and to esteem encounters over belongings. It instructs us that the genuine abundance of life lies not in what we have, but rather in who we become together. Elegance and profundity make an ensemble inside the spirit. They advise us that life isn't a rush to the end, yet a dance of minutes, associations, and changes to reside with elegance. And profundity is to find a sense of contentment with ourselves, and to find reason in elevating others. It is to abandon an inheritance not of material accomplishments, but rather of graciousness, shrewdness, and a soul that contacted the world in delicate yet significant ways. As you walk this way, allowed elegance to be your light, and profundity be your compass. Embrace every day with a heart open to ponder and a spirit prepared for development. Live so that when your story is told, it will reverberate as a tune of boldness, love, and unfathomable empathy, a demonstration of a daily existence that in its effortlessness and magnificence contacted forever. The specialty of becoming, embracing development as a deep-rooted venture in the immense embroidery of presence. Every one of us is a work in progress, a showstopper unfurling with each breath. To reside completely is to embrace the specialty of becoming, to understand. No reason's the way to genuine progress in life. We frequently face a decision between going after our fantasies and keeping down due to the reasons we let ourselves know. Dreams require an expense and difficult work, as well as in the boldness to move past each excuse we make that could restrict us. No reasons isn't simply an expression. It's a mentality, a way of thinking, a pledge to turning into our best selves. Each advantageous excursion is loaded up with difficulties. Life will test us, calling for persistence, diligence, and flexibility. Yet our actual strength shows when we choose to continue to go regardless of what disrupts the general flow. It's not difficult to sit tight for the ideal time, yet that second seldom shows up. Pardons like trepidation, self-uncertainty, or restricted assets are simply walls that block us from the everyday routine we're equipped for experiencing. Envision assuming that each effective individual had yielded to pardons. Imagine a scenario in which they permit uncertainty to eclipse their vision. History shows us that significance has a place with the individuals who won't settle, who won't allow reasons to take their fantasies. They stretch past the boundaries since they put stock in their true capacity and their ability to have an effect in their day-to-day routines, as well as in the existences of others. Reasons might feel consoling, a brief departure from the anxiety toward disappointment, yet this solace is misdirecting. In keeping away from disappointment, we miss the development, examples, and satisfaction that come from seeking after our fantasies. Taking on a no reasons attitude implies understanding, comprehension that mishaps are important for the cycle, not signs to surrender. You're fit for undeniably more than you might understand. Difficulties will emerge, and occasionally stopping might appear to be simpler, yet recall no fantasy worth having was at any point simple. Picking an existence without pardons is deciding to assume command over your future. Hug the test when we push through difficulties without depending on pardons. We're effectively molding our personality. The street isn't generally clear or simple, yet that is where development happens. Envision each snag as an opportunity to fabricate versatility, to become more grounded than we were yesterday. Embracing the hardships before us enables us to take control, to track down arrangements, and to become designers of our own prosperity. Responsibility is key. Residing without any reasons implies assuming a sense of ownership with our activities, choices, and eventually our lives. It's not difficult to